want fufus? You want fufus? What's that?
You're not gonna wipe this up?
I suppose I have to do it.
Well.
Yeah. We don't buy wood products because they're the most practical. We buy them because they're what we want. And what we want is for you to love what you buy.
Oh my god. Oh, Charlie. Oh my god, you put a stone in it too! Isn't that beautiful?
As woodworkers, it is our hope and our expectation that custom pieces will last for generations to come. But despite our best efforts, the nature of wood is that it expands and contracts in various ways, with changes in relative humidity that are beyond our control. If there are any issues with your heart-to-home piece, or you are just not satisfied, we want to hear from you. We are prepared to work with you to address each matter on a case-by-case basis as soon as possible. Our guarantee covers the integrity of our work for the lifetime of the customer. Hey guys, it's Johnny with Heart to Home Woodworking, and that is my lifetime guarantee to anyone who purchases a Heart to Home piece. Okay, you guys told me custom clock hands were probably not the best idea. But I did it anyways, and it didn't work. But I've found a solution. Let me walk you through it. Whoop. Now from this point on, the rest of the video is just going to be me going through the whole repair process of this clock. If this is something that isn't going to interest you guys, then you might as well just jump off now. If not, enjoy. So naturally, I just wanted to test the clock itself, see what the issue was, and I found that it just kept slipping. The hands just kept slipping at around the 8 o'clock position. So first things first, I tried tightening the actual center nut. When I realized that wasn't going to work, I tried switching out to an entire new clock motor. So testing out the new clock motor, everything seems really tight here, which is great. But when I actually hung it up on the wall, it stopped right at the 6 o'clock position. My best guess for that was that the hand is just too heavy. What I wanted to avoid was stripping the gears in the clock movement. What I tried doing was adding some lead tire weights. Here you can see me just testing out the hands. They feel way lighter. So now obviously I'm trying to make it more visually appealing. So I'm trying to machine it down to the point where it's all kind of even with the clock hand itself. I found these metal burrs are really great. Lead is really easy to work with those. So here I'm testing the hands again, and obviously the lead is too thick, so I have to sand it down in the back here. Testing it, it seems to be it'll look like it'll clear. So now I'm just trying to shave more weight on the actual hand itself on the opposite end. Okay, so testing the clock hands. And unfortunately they were stuck. So back to more sanding, and boom, they work. That's good. So upon testing, it bound up again. So some more sanding, here we go. Well, everyone. It has been a good 2 days since I worked on these hands. I think I'm safe enough to move on to actually finishing these refinishing these hands altogether. So you want a funny story? I pulled the classic YouTuber move and thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Okay, as I was explaining to you guys, I ran out of my normal epoxy, so I had some dollar store epoxy. It's 5-minute epoxy. I've used this stuff before, it's great for repairing God knows what. So I mixed up my blue luminous glow powder. I don't know how well it's gonna go. It obviously built up really thick, as you could probably see. I'll sand it and then we'll go from there. Yeah, this is not good stuff, maybe. Maybe wasn't the best idea because I'm seeing some big bubbles. Good thing I checked the backside, eh? Luckily with these clock hands, all I can do is just once they're sanded, if they're not good, I can just pop the epoxy inserts out basically and redo it. So it's not a big waste of time nor resources, thankfully. So I'm using 400 grit. I believe it's silicon carbide wet dry 400 grit. No real easy way to grab this and get a nice even pressure. I'm mostly concerned about the front here because I have this purposely, the end purposely bent out so I could get more weight in the back here. It's very minor. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna get some water. Okay, okay. Let's get this one now. Not bad, not bad. I'm actually really liking the look of the epoxy. It kind of looks a bit weathered, and once I add the gun blue to it, it's gonna look. I think it's gonna look really good. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I think I'm just gonna leave it just like that. Oh, that looks so good. This one I want to go a bit more now, just because I want to try and get the same thing. Oh yeah, I think it looks like it has so much character. Here, let me try and get you guys a close up of this thing. See, aside from that little gap, I think these little micro bubbles, the micro bubbles and just the black dots, like from all the metal filling the micro bubbles, I think they just look so good. I think it just adds to the rusticness of this, honestly. It doesn't need to be perfect. And just remember, I'm still going to be putting gun blue on this, so it could darken this a bit more. In fact, it probably will. I like it. I really do. Okay, we are ready to get started finishing the clock hands. So we're going to start off by just degreasing them. So I've got some grease and wax remover. Strong stuff. Now the minute hand. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not concerned. I'm not looking for a nice mirror polish finish or anything. I want that blued, antique, rustic, weathered look. So minor defects is not really a concern for me. That was the whole point of these hands to begin with. So now I've got perma blue. Okay, so it's basically just gun blue. If you're not familiar with this stuff, they use it mainly on guns, but it gives it almost a blued or bronze brushed finish in a way. You want to put it on and then let it sit for a good 30 seconds to a minute and then wash it off with hot water. I'm going to have to move pretty quick overall here, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to capture all the footage here, okay? You can see it's already kind of turning a bit like a bit of a brown color right now. Stuff works actually very quickly. Again, the longer it sits, the darker it'll go, and the more coats I put on, the darker it'll get. Turns dark pretty instantly. Trying to get all these sides here. Even the lead in the back. I don't think, is the lead really going to darken? I don't know. We'll find out. Doesn't appear to be. That's something I didn't think of, is different reactions to metal. I know I'm kind of breaking the rule by letting it sit longer, but that's okay. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to go wash this. I'll be back. Let's just dry this off. This stuff I do know from experience will rust. It'll rust after if you're not careful. So you got to make sure it's all fully dry. Now, my concern is, yeah, the camera's definitely picking it up. It looks like the gun blue has turned the epoxy blue. Now, luckily it's blue glow powder, so that actually kind of works out in a favor. But still, there's nothing I can really do about that. I'm just looking at this. I see a couple blemishes I just want to fix, so just a dabble do ya. Just put a little bit there. And a little bit there. That'll have to do. It seems like there's a couple little spots that just don't want to darken up. Maybe because the degreasing, or they didn't degrease properly, I'm not sure. See, it's a little spot right there. But you know what? It just adds to the character. I mean, look at this. Hand engraved clock hands, like, it's just, come on. Come on, guys. Like, pretty cool, not gonna lie. Part of me really wants to try just taking a couple quick passes on with some sandpaper. Part of me doesn't. Screw it, let's do it, guys. We're gonna do it. Totally gonna do it. Same thing as before though, the lead just doesn't want to really darken up. That's okay. It's all gonna be hidden. Again, it made it a little blue, but that one's actually a lot more blue than the other one, but that's okay. It's supposed to be blue or blue glow in the dark anyways, so it's just gonna kind of look like it's glowing in the dark during the day now. If you're wondering why it didn't happen like that before, it's because I did the epoxy after. That's why it didn't look as clean, because it had spilled over. But this time now it's all nice and flat, but you have blue stained epoxy. So all right, you see that? Pretty cool, in my opinion. And honestly, all these bubbles that they've now turned into black little flecks, I think it looks so good, to be honest. They look old. And you see from the top profile, you can't even tell that there's lead on the back. It's only until you flip it on the side that you see that. All right, so it's been a couple days. I'm still loving the black flecks and everything. I'm gonna try and take care of that little nick up there in the top. I'm not happy with the blue though. I don't like the way it looks. So I'm going to try some degreaser. So let's just see. I pray to God this works, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't. Oh, that's a good sign. All right, that's a good sign. So it just might take some elbow grease now. And it dried out. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward this and we'll check back in a few minutes, okay? That's looking way better. Way better. I'll show you my trick. I figured it out. So you gotta take a wet one, gotta wet it down, and then with a dry one, see that? Boom! So much lighter already. I won't lie, I'm actually pretty stoked that this is working. I honestly wasn't sure if it was gonna work in the beginning. Oh man, that's awesome. I can definitely work with these. That's way better than what they were. That's almost back to like the very original. Okay, now on to problem number 2. I am not happy with the way this turned out. So I'm gonna try and clean it out maybe. Because all it was that sandpaper grit getting stuck in there. See, I can live with that now. The problem is, like, I wish, I would love to be able to fill these, but to fill it would mean to have to put a big glob on here, and then I can't, like, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because if I put epoxy here, I gotta resand all this, but it's gonna ruin the finish, and then if I go to refinish it, it's gonna stain the epoxy, and then it's just a vicious cycle, like, let's see, let me see at a distance here. No, actually, I like it. I do actually. It's better than what the black was. I'm going with it. All right, so I know I said sandpaper, but I feel that it's just gonna be way too aggressive. Doesn't matter how fine of a sandpaper I use, too aggressive. So I'm trying, boom, emery cloth. But it should be enough just to kind of buff it out a bit, maybe. Well, I don't know, we'll try it. Let's try just doing ever so light. Yes, it's working, okay. I think it just makes it more of an even finish, if anything. I like it. Let's try this one. Okay, you see how kind of we got some blues, maybe some browns, and maybe a bit of purple in there. Took out the brown, like most of the browns and the purples, but I kind of like that better. It looks a lot more even now. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yep. Boom! Well guys, we did it. We repaired the clock hands. In total, these clock hands have taken me over 40 hours of work, and that's including the repair time as well, okay? I probably spent at least 5-6 hours trying to repair them. Hey, Brandy, give me 5. Yeah, good girl. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, I reviewed it with the client. They are stoked. I can't wait to give it back to them. I'm actually going to be meeting with them tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, if you guys want to see some more pictures of the clock itself, be sure to check out my social media as well. At this time, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for sticking around to the end and watching the whole video. It really means a lot to me. If you got anything from this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave me a comment if you guys have any questions, and subscribe for more content, okay? I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers by September and 1,000 by 2023. Let's see if we can do this, guys. She totally thinks she's in trouble. You're okay.